What's going on? What would you do if you were in a room full of your friends, your homegirls, your ride or dies, your day ones, and they suddenly said, "Yeah, I heard about your dude, your husband, the one you call daddy." Yeah, I heard that he has uh a side piece on his side, or I've heard rumors about him having biracial children with somebody. you know um it's it's so bizarre, um to be surrounded by women that you talk to, have lunch with. You and your husband went on couples trips, and not once have they ever mentioned to you that they've heard the rumors of your man stepping out. What would you say after this? And during this time, what I'm speaking about is the Married to Medicine reunion. And Andy asks, have you guys heard about these rumors that Contessa is talking about? Because Dr. Contessa, this past season, has spoke about Daddy, as Dr. Heavenly calls her husband. It's so cute. Um, you know, she said word on the street, when they were in a heated argument, because Dr. Heavenly has a problem with, her mouth getting ruthless, and, saying yo mama and all these weird things, alleged, I put alleged, but it's on camera. And when her back is against the wall, she just says the worst things to people. And Dr. Contessa's mother has been deceased, and she's dead, and or unalived. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say the D word for YouTube or any other platforms. So, um, and she just doesn't care, and she just, shouts out whatever when she's angry. But anyway, so Dr. Contessa says, "Oh, but about your man having biracial babies out here in these Atlanta streets." So, yeah, I don't know what I would do if all of my friends said, "Yeah, I kind of heard that he's out there, he's outside," you know, and part of me feels like I would feel betrayed. I would feel like, okay, when you're around me and my husband, are you laughing at us behind the scenes? Are you gossiping about it? You know, I don't know. So that was, during the recap. Be quiet. Sorry, my dog is getting out of hand. Another topic I wanted to bring up, child, Sweet Tea and Miss Quad. I'm laughing because Quad is a hot mess. She said to Sweet Tea, now let me give you a little behind the scenes. Sweet Tea is Dr. Gregory, which is Quad's ex husband, his new wife, Sweet Tea. And last year, um, Simone and others decided to bring Dr. G back to Married to Medicine, and befriended his wife in front of their, so called friend Quad, which I thought was so disrespectful. And Quad mentions this at the reunion. They get into a heated argument, her and Simone. And here's the thing, and I may get pushback on this, but I talk about this with my husband and other people. Black women, we have some deep rooted issues. Doesn't matter how many accolades that we have, or degrees or, a professional title as a doctor. No matter what, it seems like, and I'm not trying to say all, but I've encountered this. I'm no way a doctor, but someone in a high position, insecure up against me. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're way up here. I am down here. It is the most frustrating thing. I know we have this thing, Black girl magic. Ooh, sisterhood. We're sisters. And I wish that could be true all the time, but it's not. I've always said this about Simone. Simone has a serious insecurity when it comes to Quad. I feel like it is a weird jealousy. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. No, nobody should be jealous. No one should be jealous at all in life. I don't care if you are a celebrity or non-celebrity. You should be happy to be in a lane that you're in, that God has ordained you to be. And her envy comes out every now and then. Simone, well-decorated OBGYN, I believe. She's a doctor herself. And she has this thing about with Quad not including her in things, and I'm not saying Quad doesn't have her some things, but nothing. Quad hasn't done nothing to receive the icing out of the group at one point last season. The stabbing in the back, not literally, but the backbiting, that's a better word. And you saw it at the reunion when Simone was like, yeah, we have to sit here and always kiss your behind and this and that. It just came out of way left field. And that was her way of bragging about bringing this woman, Sweet Tea, and Dr. G, who allegedly abused Quad, got physical with her before they got divorced. Everybody knew, and I just thought it was weird of Bravo to allow him back on. And I mean, I don't know. Your friends knew about it, but yet they flaunted this new friendship of this woman in the circle where Quad is. It's just weird, but I will never forget that about Simone and Toya. Well, Toya fessed up to it that, oh, we are mean girls. We need to do better. Okay, she had her speech. But she's definitely a mean girl. And she'd also befriended Sweet Tea. And all of this was to get back at Quad. They never could really say, what does Quad really do? You would think Quad slept with their husband, stole money from them. She has done none of that. And these women are really older women to be tripping over the most minute things. I believe that they are so intimidated by Quad, who's this independent woman who is self-made, and she did it on her own. And now she has this beautiful man that she's happy about. And I know I made some videos about Quad, like seeming like, okay, maybe are you not over Dr. G? But I think what it is, she wanted her spotlight to get back at them for coming into last year's season. It's like, what are you doing here? Why is my ex-husband and new wife in this show with me? So I think she wanted to get her lick back. I think so. Anyway, but I got to say this on the part of the recap that had me hysterically laughing. Okay. So Quad says to Sweet Tea at the reunion, because they've been going back and forth, child. She said, Girl, you crawled into Dr. G's DM, snuck into his DM, and lied and pretended that you can produce babies for him. That's not verbatim, but that's what she said. Which you have not been able to produce. You had him thinking, because you're young and you have this healthy uterus and ovaries to produce, but you don't. And I thought that was cold-blooded, but she got her on that one. You have, and she said, you have not made good on your promise to give him a baby. That was cold-blooded. Quad, that was cold-blooded. And listen, you know, I sincerely hope that Sweet Tea and Dr. G is able to produce a baby. You know, being a mother is one of the greatest gifts that God has ever given to me. You know, I too had suffered with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I was told my chance of having a baby was slim. But God said that's not true, and He, without IVF, without medication to help me have babies, I was able to have babies naturally by the grace of God. But Sweet Tea, all jokes aside, because it's no joke, she does have endometriosis, allegedly. That's been preventing her. And so I pray that, she's able to produce a baby, a healthy baby, her and Dr. G. And I'm just wishing them well, because that's nothing to play with. So I believe that God can do all things, and if it's in His will, and I believe it will be, they will have a baby. The sad thing, I will say this, and I believe, Quad was actually coming to the defense of Sweet Tea, because on one of the scenes this season, Dr. G says, I'm only going to give you 2 years of us trying to have a baby. And the way he said it was cringing, and it made Sweet Tea, upset, and she was in tears. And so Andy brought up that scene and asked Sweet Tea, how did it make you feel? And, of course, devastating. And so Quad even said, I didn't like seeing that. I didn't like the way he was talking to you. I don't, and I believe at that moment, Quad was actually reflecting on what it was like to be married to this man. And I believe she came to the defense, like, I saw that and I didn't like that for you. But instead of Sweet Tea receiving that, she went off on Quad. It was like, why are you all involved in, watch the reunion. But anyways, click the subscribe button, click the bell so that you could be notified when a video is uploaded. But thank you guys, my day ones, my catchers, for hanging in there with me. I'm always busy with caretaking with my mom and also with my 9 to 5. And so I'm not always on here, but I'm definitely going to get better. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope that you had a really good weekend. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Love you guys.